So hey everyone, today I played with Eliza Dungeons and Dragons for the first time. We only are 2 people, so we use the AI as the game master or the dungeon master, whatever you call it, the DM. And it's our first time playing, so we don't know the exact rules, but maybe if we play next time we will make our characters a little bit better and specify a certain amount of skills that we can use. But because right now we could use like all the skills, like we were the strongest characters there were. But yeah, we had fun, and yeah. So here we go to the story. I'm gonna share it with you. So I'm just gonna read out everything that we typed to ChatGPT. When he will talk, I will use the text-to-speech program to do his voice, because then it's like different. So the first line we said was, "Can we play Dungeons and Dragons with 2 people and you as the DM?"
Yes, you can definitely play Dungeons & Dragons with just 2 people, with me acting as the Dungeon Master. Normally a D-Edge each group has several players, but it is absolutely possible to experience the adventure with a smaller group. As a DM, I am responsible for creating and managing the game world, playing non-player characters TUCs, describing the environment and events, and resolving the actions you take as players. If you both play as characters PCs, we can create a custom adventure suitable for a smaller group. We may also make some adjustments to the rules to better adapt the challenges to your limited number of characters. Before we begin, you need to decide which version of DDD you want to play, for example. You can then create your characters using the rules for the chosen system. Let me know which version of DDD you want to play, and if you already have characters in mind, feel free to share the details. As a DM, I will create the world and set up the story for you, and then we can start the adventure.
We want to play the 5th edition. The first character is Amy, that is a warrior. Amy is a warrior looking for the next paycheck. Character 2 is Eliza, is a wizard. She just finished magic school and is ready for an adventure.
Fantastic. Let's start the adventure of Amy the warrior and Eliza the wizard. Amy is looking for the next paycheck, while Eliza has just finished wizard school and is ready for an adventure. We start in a lively town called Haven Grove, located on the coast of a vast sea. Haven Grove is known for its diverse population, bustling harbour, and the mysterious ancient ruins that can be found in the area. Amy and Eliza run into each other by chance at a tavern called the Wandering Gull. Amy, while sitting at the bar, overhears the innkeeper talking about a nearby mission for brave souls. He says that a nearby village called Greendale has been plagued by unexplained disappearances of villagers. The villagers are at their wits' end and have offered rewards for anyone who can solve the mystery and bring back their loved ones. This seems like the perfect opportunity for Amy to earn her next paycheck. Eliza, sitting at a table and listening, also feels the urge to help the village and have an adventure after finishing her studies. She decides to join Amy and offers her magical abilities to help solve the mystery. Amy and Eliza get acquainted and decide to travel to Greendale together. They head for the village, encountering some traders and travelers along the way, but no one really knows what is going on in Greendale. When they reach the village, they are warmly received by the grateful but concerned villagers. As a DM, I will manage the environment, characters, and world events. You as players can decide what actions Amy and Eliza want to take. Feel free to tell me what you want to do, and we'll explore the story together.
We like to go to the bar in Greendale.
Good idea. Amy and Eliza decide to go to the local bar in Greendale to gather more information about the disappearances and to see if there might be other adventurers who can help them. The bar, called the Rusty Tankard, is a lively place with diverse people coming together to forget their worries and share stories. Inside they find a mix of villagers, travelers, and some rugged adventurers. The bard at the corner of the room plays cheerful tunes, creating a cozy atmosphere. Amy and Eliza take a seat at a table and order some food and drinks. They strike up a conversation with the bartender, a friendly man named Garrett, and ask about the recent disappearances in the village. Garrett looks serious and says that the disappearances have been going on for several weeks now. Several villagers have disappeared without a trace, with no sign of their whereabouts or what happened to them. He mentions one of the most recent disappearances, that of a young farmer named Thomas. Thomas mysteriously disappeared from his home, with no indication of a struggle or forced egress. This has put the village in a state of fear and unrest. Garrett also says that some villagers claim to have heard strange noises coming from the ancient ruins on the outskirts of the village, but no one dares to enter the ruins alone, as they are notorious for old, dark legends. With this new information, Amy and Eliza decide it's worth investigating the ruins and see if there's a connection between the disappearances and the mysterious noises. How do Amy and Eliza want to proceed? Do they want to go straight to the ruins, interrogate other villagers, or maybe try something else? Let me know what decision you make, and we'll explore the story further.
We decide to do some shopping for some heal potions first in case we need them.
Good idea. Knowing that they might be in for a dangerous situation in the ancient ruins, Amy and Eliza decide to act wisely and do some shopping before heading out. They ask Garrett if there is a local alchemist or grocer where they can buy health potions. Garrett tells them that an alchemist named Alaric is nearby just on the edge of the village. He is known for his expertise in making all kinds of potions and medicines. He warns Amy and Eliza that the health potions may be pricey, but they could prove invaluable in their adventure. Amy and Eliza thank Garrett for the information and go to Alaric's alchemist shop. They are greeted by an older man with a friendly appearance. Alaric is happy to hear that they are looking for health potions and shows them his selection. He has a few different potions available, varying in strength and price. Basic Health Potion restores a small amount of HP/HE points. Greater Health Potion restores a significant amount of Superior Health Potion. Restores a significant amount of HP and can also heal minor injuries. Eliza has saved up some gold from her studies and suggests buying some potions to increase their chances of survival. What potions would Amy and Eliza want to buy? And how many of each? Let me know what choices you make and we'll continue your adventure.
Eliza decides to buy one superior potion and Amy buys one greater and two basic potions.
Great choices. Eliza buys a superior health potion, while Amy chooses to buy one greater health potion and two basic health potions. After paying the gold coins, they receive the potions in small, sealed vials. Alaric warns them to be careful during their adventure and reminds them that using the potions takes a bit of time, so it's wise to use them strategically in case of emergencies. With their new acquisitions, Amy and Eliza head for the ancient ruins on the outskirts of the village. It is a gloomy place, surrounded by an atmosphere of mystery and secrets. Indeed, as they approach, they hear strange noises that seem to come from the depths. What do Amy and Eliza want to do at the ruins? They can choose to carefully examine the entrance, observe the area, talk to villagers who are nearby, or do something else. Let me know how you want to act, and we'll continue the adventure.
We are going to observe the area.
Excellent idea. Amy and Eliza decide to observe the ruins from a distance before venturing in. They hide behind some old trees and keep their eyes and ears open. As they watch, they see some strange shadows moving within the ruins. It seems that something or someone is active in the old buildings. Occasionally, they hear soft, inexplicable noises that don't match anything they've ever heard before. After observing for a while, they notice a few villagers carefully sneaking up to the edge of the ruins, and then quickly returning to the village. It seems that some villagers have been brave enough to take a look, but no one has yet a full explanation for what is going on. Suddenly, Amy and Eliza hear a soft, wailing noise coming from the ruins. It sounds like a helpless creature or a person in need. What do Amy and Eliza want to do after hearing the wailing sound? They can choose to go straight in and investigate the source of the noise, go back to the village to gather more information, or do something else. Let me know what action you want to take.
We like to investigate the source of the sound.
Amy and Eliza feel the urge to investigate the source of the wailing sound and decide to carefully enter the ruins. They approach the entrance to the old buildings, their senses sharpened to detect possible dangers. It's dark inside, but the dim light coming through the cracks and broken windows helps them find their way. As they go deeper into the ruins, the sounds become louder and clearer. It now sounds like a mix of screams and whispers. Suddenly, Amy and Eliza come face to face with a lost and frightened villager. It is Thomas, the young farmer who recently disappeared. He appears to be injured and showing signs of exhaustion. Thomas whispers in a trembling voice, "They're here, the shadows." Before Thomas can say more, he is suddenly pulled away into the darkness by unseen hands. Amy and Eliza try to rescue him, but he slips through their fingers and disappears into the shadows. What do Amy and Eliza want to do now? They can try to follow Thomas and confront the shadows, go back to the village to notify the other villagers, continue exploring the ruins, or try something else. Let me know what action you want to take, and we'll continue the adventure.
We decide to go after Thomas. Eliza casts a spell, Minor Light.
Amy and Eliza decide to go after Thomas and save him. Eliza uses her wizarding skills and casts the spell Minor Light, causing a faint glow to appear around them. This gives them enough light to find their way and possibly reveal some of the darkness. Using the faint light as their guide, Amy and Eliza follow Thomas's tracks deeper into the ruins. They notice that the sounds get louder and more intense as they go on. They hear strange whispers and terrifying cries, and occasionally they catch glimpses of moving shadows along the walls. After a while, they arrive in a large, deserted room. In the center of the room is a strange, ancient obelisk. Thomas stands at the foot of the obelisk, surrounded by some of the dark shadows. "Help me," Thomas pleads, but his voice sounds strange now, as if he's being influenced by something supernatural. Suddenly, the shadows begin to move, forming a dark, menacing figure. It resembles a shadowy entity radiating darkness and fear. It is clear that this is the creature responsible for the disappearances and that it controls Thomas and other villagers. What do Amy and Eliza want to do now? They can try to save Thomas from the shadowy entity, cast an offensive spell against the shadows, devise a different strategy, or possibly run away to get help. Let me know what action you want to take, and we'll continue the adventure.
So this is where we use the dice. So yeah, we cast an offensive fireball spell, and the dice landed on 19, so it's 19 points of damage.
Eliza doesn't hesitate and points her hand at the shadowy entity. She uses her powerful wizard skills to create a ball of fire and launches it at the dark figure with precision. The fireball hits the entity with devastating force, resulting in 19 points of damage. The shadowy entity shrinks and morphs under the intense fire and lets out a terrifying scream. It appears to be temporarily weakened by Eliza's attack. Amy, standing next to Eliza, meanwhile draws her sword and is ready to intervene if the shadows try to attack again. Thomas appears partially freed from the dark influence and watches the battle with confused eyes. However, the shadowy entity quickly recovers and once again begins gathering shadows around itself, ready to attack. What do Amy and Eliza want to do now? They can continue their offensive attacks and try to defeat the shadows, try to figure out how the shadows are summoned and find its source, retreat and reassess the situation, or try something else. Let me know what action you want to take and we'll continue the exciting adventure.
Eliza casts a spell, Great Light, and Amy will attack with 17 points of damage.
Eliza decides to use a powerful spell and casts Great Light into the room. A bright illuminating light spreads through space, dispelling the darkness and weakening the shadows. The shadowy entity appears to be uncomfortable with the light and tries to shield itself from the brightness. Meanwhile, Amy attacks with her sword and directs a critical hit at the shadowy entity, resulting in 17 points of damage. The shadowy figure screams in agony and despair at the combined powers of Eliza's magic and Amy's attack. The entity now seems really weakened and beginning to falter, but it is not completely defeated yet. What do Amy and Eliza want to do now? They can continue their offensive attacks and try to defeat the shadowy entity definitively, reassess the situation and possibly consider a tactical retreat, or try something else to turn the battle in their favor. Let me know what action you want to take, and we'll continue the adventure.
Eliza starts casting her spell, the Fireball Rain, and it causes 18 points of damage. Amy attacks with the skill, Heavy Hit, and it also does 18 points of damage.
Seeing that the shadowy entity is still a threat, Eliza decides to cast a powerful spell. She casts Fireball Rain with several small fireballs sprouting from her hands and raining down on the entity in a shower of fire. The attack deals 18 points of damage and further weakens the shadows. At the same time, Amy attacks with her sword and uses her Heavy Strike skill. She hits the shadowy entity with full force and her attack also results in 18 points of damage. The shadowy entity now seems to teeter on the edge of defeat with the light from Eliza's spell, and Amy's powerful attacks have taken a significant toll on the creature hiding in the darkness. What do Amy and Eliza want to do now? They can decide to continue their attacks and finally defeat the shadowy entity, consider a tactical retreat, try a different strategy, or do something else. Let me know what action you want to take, and we'll continue the adventure to see how your epic battle ends.
Eliza casts another fireball and it does 13 points of damage, and Amy does an attack with 2 points of damage.
Eliza aims her hands at the shadowy entity again and casts another fireball. This time, the fireball deals 13 points of damage to the entity, which now appears to be getting even weaker from the constant attacks. Amy also attacks, but her blow seems less powerful and only deals 2 points of damage. Despite the lower damage, every contribution is important in the fight against the dark creature. The shadowy entity now seems on the verge of succumbing to the ongoing attacks. What do Amy and Eliza want to do now? They can deploy the final attacks to defeat the shadowy entity, retreat and reassess the situation, or devise another strategy to confront the creature. Let me know what action you want to take, and we'll continue the adventure to discover how your valiant efforts will pay off against this sinister adversary.
Eliza casts another fireball, it does 20 points of damage, and Amy decides to give her second sword to Thomas so he can join the fight too. Amy deals 15 damage and Thomas deals 13 damage.
Eliza, determined to defeat the shadowy entity, casts another powerful ball of fire. This time, the fireball deals 20 points of damage to the entity, which now appears to be in a critical state. Amy, knowing that Thomas needs their help, gives her second sword to him. Thomas takes hold of the sword and shows determination to join the fight. He attacks the shadowy entity, dealing 13 points of damage to the creature. Then Amy attacks again with her sword and delivers a devastating blow that deals 15 points of damage.
The shadowy entity falters and seems about to succumb. It is clear that the combined efforts of Eliza, Amy and Thomas have had a powerful effect on the dark adversary. What do Amy and Eliza want to do now? They can use the last attacks to defeat the shadowy entity, or possibly come up with another strategy. Let me know what action you want to take, and we'll continue the adventure to see you finish the fight against this sinister adversary.
We continue the attack. Eliza casts another fireball for 15 points of damage. Amy swings the sword for 11 damage. And Thomas does 9 damage.
The combined attacks are enough to overwhelm the shadowy entity. The dark figure begins to fade and weaken, eventually imploding on itself. An intense wave of energy spreads through the room, but it seems that evil has now been defeated. The light from Eliza's great light slowly returns to normal, and the room is brightly lit again. The shadows disappear, and the darkness is dispelled. Thomas looks relieved and thanks Amy, Eliza, and you, the DM, for their help. He says he vaguely remembers what happened when he was under the influence of the shadowy entity. He says he felt like he was out of control of his own body. With the shadowy entity defeated and the village freed from its grasp, Amy, Eliza, and Thomas return to Greendale. They are welcomed with open arms by the grateful villagers. News of their heroic deeds quickly spread throughout the city, and they are honored as local heroes. Your adventure ends with a victory celebration at the Rusty Tankard, where the villagers praise Amy, Eliza, and Thomas for their courage and perseverance. Congratulations! You have successfully completed the adventure and saved the village from the evil that plagued them. Thanks for playing this exciting D&D adventure with me as your DM. If you want to experience more adventures, I am always ready to explore your stories further.
So this is the end. We completed the journey. It was successful. In case you wonder why do you use different voices at the end for the text to speak, the reason was I had a free account on it and I could do like 2,000 words or something, so I ran out of free. So I had to pay and I didn't really want it, so I went to another site where there's different voices, but I thought they sound pretty okay-ish, so It's not as good as the first one, I know, but yeah. Sometimes you have to do with what you got, so... thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all later. And if you like this kind of video, please do a thumbs up so I know you like it, and we may do more in the future.